Wait, is this in the Discord?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't understand. I posted this and I was like, Amanita. With the
That is so Amanita. God, I live in the soil.
I am the soil now.
Did you read the bottom? A weighted blanket is not enough. I need to merge with the soil and co-regulate my body with the Earth's mycelial network.
God.
It's so good.
Okay, let me see if I can extract. Oh, you should keep this.
Oh.
You should keep this.
Yes.
It was very fun. It's the first time I've actually, I think,
I'll take it.
played RPG games in a while. I missed it.
I'm getting so hot.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Be safe. Be safe.
Drink water.
Be well,
Make good choices.
or don't, and tell us about them later.
Sorry.
I love that.
If you make bad choices,
we're ready.
if you make bad choices, name them after me.
Ready, y'all
Yes.
are already on.
Ready.
Let's do it.
What?
Amazing.
We love it.
I have this whole side to myself again.
You can just like
Oh, no.
drape like the Queen of Sheba over there.
So alone.
Our spirit is with us.
No, I honestly mean it. Y'all are already on.
I know. I
Get
can see that.
it.
He's been on.
Thank you, James. These are bits.
Jerk.
James.
Had enough.
Wow, that was wild.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What
I will
a
be double fisting the fan.
What
is none of
a run. What? So, I was asked in the Discord, and I will just go ahead and answer it here because I suspect it's not just the one person who was curious. I did not know who was going to be the BBEG until tonight.
Say that acronym one more time.
Big bad evil guy, the bad guy at the end of the game, basiced,ly the BBEG, the big. So I didn't know. I had it loosely held in my mind that it would either be the opposing Baron, Maystrike herself, or Ambrose.
Yeah.
Well, Amber Rose turning on us.
Honestly, it could have gone that way. If y'all hadn't like rallied.
Yeah.
Go.
If y'all hadn't rallied around her and like provided that support and also like yes, that is literally the best part about this particular system is that it's the power of love and the power of friendship and the power of thirst.
Power of thirst. Yeah. What did you say? Something angry and horny.
Oh my god, please don't
Somebody clip that.
My brain like short circuiting.
I am totally gonna message Alondra and be like, we need this. Speaking of Alondra, though, I want to make sure that we do not end this game without calling out these beautiful streams that she made for us.
I started deconstructing mine, but
this is something that was new for this particular run because Thirsty Sword Lesbians, like other Powered by the Apocalypse games, don't have maps or minis or anything like that.
I'm so sorry, Alondra, that I was upside down the whole night. I didn't even notice until just now.
Oh,
that's okay.
As a friend of mine would say about frayed patches on his kilt, if someone's looking that closely, you're doing something wrong.
I'm that person, though.
Or they should be taking it off of you.
I was gonna say, or you're doing something right.
That's your job.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think what's really cool too about this is the kinds of combinations of moves that you can do in combat, because like the combat is not the end goal of this system.
Combat is actually an inconvenience and difficult to do.
It is. And that's why I like the whole like figure out a person in the middle of combat, and like the information that I got about Ambrose informed the way that like situation, the way I wanted to resolve that situation, which was give Amber Rose more power and more confidence.
Yeah.
By not even directly engaging with Ambrose, but engaging with their world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, I mean, kudos to both of y'all, everybody here, obviously, but like the way you handled that conflict was the juice of that. You know, Amber Rose the whole time is like, I'm not as good as my brother. I'm not as good as my brother, and then it's like, the unseen want to be with you.
Yeah.
Like the whole willing thing, and like you were seeding that a little bit throughout, and So good. So good.
Such juice.
Also,
juice.
though, the
Much
conflict
juice.
between you two.
Oh my god! I've been waiting for that since like session 0. I was like,
I know. It's gotta
how?
come. It has to come up, right?
Right.
And then I know you were like kind of like you're in the
Seeding in that direction.
Yeah, you were like, you've never
So I'm
been
like
off the
piecing it
island.
together.
Right.
wait a minute.
And I have like the move. I didn't really get to read it out completely, but the move is make it right when you allow yourself to be vulnerable to someone you hurt during your villainous past. They choose one, and I didn't read them out, but you definitely lashed out. You could decline to engage, get a string, guide you, and then you get XP, and then there's a task, show vulnerability, and so then I get a forward, or you forgive me. So, which is another, we've been talking about this throughout, but the powered by this system, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, is so good about being like, it's not on me. You choose how this interaction goes, not the other way around. So.
And that's something that we talked about it before, because earlier Amanita declined to clear a condition, which I really like. Quiet. We can hear you.
Unless you're throwing bits.
Throw us some bits.
We're gonna be finding those things until the day we move out.
Oh my god. That's the other thing.
Lady down here.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's where they ended up. I was scared they're gonna hit the
They
LED
were
wall.
bouncing off the window.
And then at that angle, I was like, am I gonna hit the LED wall? Is Amy going to kill me?
It all shuts off.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't all shut off. It might kill 1 or 2 bulbs.
So you were saying, that it's like, even with clearing conditions.
Yeah,
like,
even with
it's the
clearing conditions, it's
person-
like, because it specifically says in emotional support, if they reach out in a way that is meaningful to you, it is very much on the person who is receiving it, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I think another thing for me that I love about this is like I haven't played too much D&D, but when I have, it typically is like, okay, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? And like for me, I was like, I always wanted to play out the scenes and like like for that setup at least, it was very focused, action oriented. What are we doing next? What are you doing? Here it's kind of like, let's just talk. And like, who are you? What are you about? Let me get to know you and actually like play the scenes and actually be able to delve into your own character and then other people's characters and like build that environment. And I think that's what I love the most about this TTRPG.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I know. I want a shirt. I want a shirt that says "We can talk. The Zeppelin is slow."
Get on that merch.
Yes, you're a good person.
You're a good person.
God, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
But yeah, and that's something that I think is really important about TTRPGs in general, because the way that I play and run D&D is I lean into those moments. I lean into the character stuff. Yeah, there's a combat to get to, because D&D is first and foremost a war game. Like, that's what it's built to be. But we've kind of hacked it.
I will argue that you have like modules like Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which will come out, right? Which, if played a specific way or other specific way,
you might never hit
make
combat.
it through the module without combat.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, they clearly acknowledge too that there are a lot of folks who are into the roleplay aspect of things.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I enjoy the crunchy stuff, and like, even though fighting is not optimal, I was like, I love that I got to like just really unload for 1 second.
It was pretty great. But honestly, in my opinion, combat doesn't mean anything if there's not emotion behind it.
Yeah.
If there's not a reason behind it, it's just taking up time and spending resources, which is one of the things that you do in D&D, is you're trying to, as a GM, you're trying to lower your players' resources enough so that it feels dangerous when they go into the final conflict.
Well,
I keep leaning. I need to stop doing this.
Yes, stakes.
One of the things that I really enjoyed about a home game that I was playing is I had run a game of Monster Hearts for my group, and we all really loved that. It was super intense, very emotional. Monster Hearts 2, if you don't know, for those of you who don't know who are watching, uses the same system as Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is powered by the Apocalypse. And we really enjoyed we were enjoying the role play aspect of our D&D game, but wanted to enhance it a little bit more. So we as players proposed to our DM that we use strings in our D&D game. And the strings are, I think we did it as like either an additional D6 or it was advantage or something. Like we hadn't yet quite decided on how exactly we were going to use the strings, and that game unfortunately is no longer happening.
That's unfortunate.
When we were using strings, it was really meaningful. It felt really good to say like, oh, I think you gained a string on me for this conversation we're having right now.
I love that.
Yeah, it's almost like bardic inspiration where you like have a little boost.
Yeah. And then keeping track of those strings, I'm sure like if you had a sprawling campaign for a DM, that would be a lot, but you can like, what we were doing is we were relying on each other to remember, and we were writing down our strings. And so we would gain strings on NPCs as well. And NPCs would gain strings on us that we could then use later. Which I thought was a really cool way of like hacking D&D for more roleplay aspects, or more juicy roleplay aspects, I should say.
Juice.
Well, yeah, I think that there's like something to be said for like homebrewing and combining and like, you know, like I think Dimension 20 did that with like A Court of Fey and Flowers. They use like good society elements, and like I think like, yeah, I mean, mix and match. What if you find something that works? Yeah, totally. And like some systems are built around that. So if you do like, I want a crunchy fight and I want that like juicy role play.
Emotional content.
Right, yeah, like why not both?
Yeah, definitely.
You asked me to bring up downbeats.
Oh yes, notes.
One of the difficulties of this system is that I did not utilize downbeats as much as I should have. There were many times when y'all would roll a 6 or lower, and there's a whole lot of GM moves that I can and should have used, but I didn't. Like, and a lot of them would have imposed way more conditions on y'all.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you try to do this thing, and what is the condition that you take from failing it? Or, you know, one of the, let me actually pull it up, because it's really interesting what they say about it.
And I will also say, like, this, I think you ran the game beautifully, and I think like it was like a really fun learning experience, but
it was a good experience,
and I hope for the viewers that like we got to learn the game together. And you know, you screw up when you play a game, and that's okay.
So there's all sorts of like,
that's right.
Hey.
I'm never gonna forget that.
Me neither. There's a lot of GM moves that can be used. So like narrative moves, just for example, highlight an adversary's appeal, a rival grows in power and standing, create misunderstandings and doubt about attachments, escalate the stakes of a conflict. Mechanically, I can take a string on you, inflict a condition, work with them to figure out what makes the most sense, make them stagger, offer them XP to make an unwise decision, and potentially inflict a condition if they don't. And then there's playbook related ones, like for example, the scoundrel, show them how they've hurt someone, tempt them with a dangerous lover. Or the
definitely worked on you.
Or the nature witch, betray their foolish trust, threaten the natural world. So things like that, where it's like there were more things that I could have pulled on, and now it's like, okay, I have a better grasp of the base system.
Yeah.
So now I can expand and be like, because generally it would be like, you rolled a d6 and nothing you rolled a 6 and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Unless it was like serious. And I think that really only happened once with you, because you took a condition as a result of a bad roll.
Yeah, and I think that was like in that moment where I was describing that, I was like, Amanita is going to take a condition. I want a condition right now, because I think that will make the story more juicy, and it also reflects like her experience in this moment.
Yeah, and that was great. I should have done more of those sorts of things, but now I know. This is not a diss on myself. It is a verbalizing out loud that I have.
Yes,
I've learned a lot from this experience, and I want to run this system again because, you know, I think I can make it even more juicy.
And
I was gonna say, like, there's lots of stuff I didn't get to do, like, in like the conditions, like clearing conditions. There's like fun prompts for if you don't get like emotional support, you can clear a condition by like doing a sort of toxic action, like for instance, guilty to clear, sacrifice something important just to hurt yourself for what you did, like, and that would clear the condition.
Yeah,
I do think they're different for each playbook.
They
too,
are.
'cause I was looking at.
What? Really?
Like I can clear a condition when I act in a way that prevents my tragedy but hurts someone that I care about, or I willfully ignore an opportunity to thwart or defeat basically the BBEG.
I had no
and,
idea.
like,
That's so cool.
I can use nature's touch to clear a condition on someone, but they may give me a string. They have to give me a string in order for me to clear that condition. Or I can impose a condition by using nature's touch, and they must answer one of the figure out a person questions of my choice, or else they take a condition. So there's lots of fun stuff to be done with
there's a lot of interplay in that sort of stuff, and also we didn't use your tragedy. Then there are things in the various playbooks that have like trackers, like we didn't use the Beast playbook, but there is like the Beast. Also, I don't remember what it's called, where there's basically two people in one body, basically, a garnet.
I almost did that
I
one.
know you did.
It's called the ensemble.
The ensemble,
it's
thank
like,
you.
It gave me like Garnet from Steven Universe vibes. But
Oh yes, I'm confident that's who they based it on.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
But I'd have to play two people, which would be fun.
It would definitely stretch you a bit there, wouldn't it?
For sure.
Do we have any final wrap-up thoughts?
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
You're all amazing.
Gosh, you made me cry.
Oh my god, no.
You both were crying. I saw that.
Yes.
That's why I paused afterwards to be like,
Are we actually?
No, that was really great.
That was so
I
fun.
get really
That was-
emotional.
No,
I get really emotional.
I was like when you turned to me and you were like and I was like like I started tearing up and I was like, yes, this is so good. I'm feeling it. It's so juicy right now.
But like also, kudos to you for checking in.
Yeah.
well, and that is one of the reasons why the check marks lives in the middle of the table. The camera can't see it, but we all can because it's like it is necessary.
Thank you,
Behind
Cheryl.
the scenes, it looks like
It's an index card.
Tech.
It's an index card that I stole from our own Dan Vashkevich because he was helping me plot some stuff out.
Thanks, Dan.
And I stole that from him on the index cards and made the X cards and the check marks. The check mark to be like, because that is like, I was watching that scene and being like, I'm pretty sure that you three are just acting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously always emotional stuff tied in that sort of thing, but also like, are you really okay? Because we can pause if we need to.
Yeah. Which. Good GM.
Yes,
Yeah.
Good game.
Good
Master.
game.
Game.
Game. Good game.
Okay, wait, were you always saying Game Master, or like in the first session, did you not say Game Master? Because then I started like questioning myself. I was like, no,
It's hard to say game.
Game.
It's hard to say game.
Master.
Game.
You could probably see it.
Master.
Game me master.
there's a Y in there.
All right, we're getting punchy.
You could probably see me like intensely staring at you, like game.
I mean, y'all were staring at me the whole time that I was going through all of the spiel, so I was like, I'm just focused in and just reading the damn prompter. But thank you all so much to our wonderful viewers, our wonderful patrons. We can't ever call them out enough because they are wonderful. Everyone who is supporting the channel, whether you are sending bits on live streams or giving us the YouTube views or telling people about us, truly, 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 we get to tell these amazing stories because of our incredible audience. And I'm honored to be behind this screen. I'm delighted to have these wonderful people at my table, and it's all because of our fantastic audience. So thank you all so much, and join us for whatever comes next. There's some stuff going on behind the scenes in QNC. Like we said, July is in flux right now, so we're looking at what things are going to look like. But enjoy your holidays. Hopefully it starts getting actually warm properly outside and not just in this heat box of a room.
Don't say that. We like the cold.
Bring on the cold.
I just don't want it to be cold. cold in June. It feels wrong.
Okay, all right.
You know, once it's September, it can start getting like cold again.
Okay.
One step closer to spoopy season.
Spoopy!
Spoopy.
Spoopy! Thank you all so much. And remember, until we meet again, friends, stay juicy.
Stay juicy. Mwah.